what you're going through, I'll reach out more and, just to talk. And if you want to talk, you just want somebody to listen, call me. This is a no judgment zone. I am not one to sit up there and talk to anybody else about what we talk about. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I want you to know that I love you. You are loved. And, to keep pushing, you might got to go on ahead and put the rubber to the road and make some serious sacrifices and buckle down, you know what I mean? So that way, if you realize that the end result is you got to get out of Coatesville because this right here is traumatic for you. Coatesville is just traumatic for you. So if that's the case and you know you got to go, then it's time to make a plan. It's time to make the plan. Sit down and real step-by-step plan.
Black as the sun, it's gonna rise someday. Head to the sky, cause baby we gon' shine. Black as the sun, it's gonna rise someday. Head to the sky, you're gonna see him shine.
Sweeter than juice, like the bitch I gotta smoke with Sha'Carri Richardson. Can't wait to Richardson or be the next president.
Got for 44, but niggas barely see that. Picture a brother like me with some Skittles and tea, end up on a white tee. Picture a gun to your head from your brother, all white casket of running, and it's your mother. Damn.
Black is the sun. My name is Dame Dallas, and this is a documentary on my life. After that phone call, I knew I had a purpose, and I don't know really what my purpose is and what direction I'm supposed to be headed. I just know I had to keep putting one foot forward and trying. The first obstacle in my life that I ever had to go through was losing my mom at 9 years old. And that was one of the worst days of my life. And I remember my grandparents, they was on the phone, and one thing I do remember my grandma saying was, "Shonda's house caught on fire." And as a little kid, you really, I don't, like, it just was something where I just was like, and I went back to sleep. And I remember they sent me to school and everything was supposed to be normal. And when I got to school, that's when everything started to change.
That we just have to deal with the cards that were dealt and deal with it the best way we know how.
When I went to school, I had a classmate, Rashay. She came up to me, and still to this day I remember it like it was yesterday. It was field day. And she said, "Is your mom okay? Is your mom okay?" And her house caught on fire. And as a little boy, I was shocked. I remember I turned over and my dad and my brother was there. And that was so unusual to see both of them there on field day. And from that point, at 9 years old, I knew something wasn't right. And they said, "You have an early dismissal." And I remember just getting in the car, and I was in the back seat, and I guess everyone was trying to play it off, but I guess you could say as a kid, I just was One of those ones I never like bit my tongue. And they was like, what's wrong with you? I said, why ain't nobody tell me my mom's house caught on fire? And like the whole car just stopped. And my dad pulled over. And I remember we just all broke out in tears. And I just remember my dad just was always just like, he was very strong about like, you know, telling us to keep our head up. And no one knew at the time how severe everything was. I remember as a kid, them days just seemed forever. In a short time span, them days was just seeming forever. It just was like, I was kind of like placed on the sideline. They didn't really like tell me much, and they really didn't get into a lot of things with me. Which, looking back at it, I kind of don't fault them for what the situation was. And you know, I remember it was just a day. My grandparents came and was like, hey, we're gonna go to the hospital. And I never knew going to that hospital that day was gonna be the final goodbyes. I remember we got in the car and we drove all the way to Crozier Hospital, and just the whole car ride just was like, it was quiet. And I just remember they would always listen to 100.3 The Beat, and Fantasia came on. Put your picture in my mirror, start to blush when somebody says your name. It was 2007 to May 25th, 24th. When I pulled up to the hospital, nothing but family and friends was outside of the hospital, and everybody's face was just so distraught. Everybody's face, like, I just seen tears. And as a kid, I didn't know what was really, really going on. And I remember I got out the van, and when I walked over, everyone just started hugging me. I'm like, why is everyone like hugging me? And everyone just was just holding me. And I just remember my Aunt Tweety, she came up to me and she just was like, I love you. And I just remember my Aunt Tweety, my Aunt Randy, and so many people just was coming up and just was saying, I love you, and you're gonna be okay, you're gonna be good, and I got you no matter what. And I didn't know, like, that's when they pulled the plug on my mom. And as days went by, I remember my Lori came, and you know, we was getting clothes for funeral, and everything just was so happening so quick. And as a child, it's like, how do you really like comprehend everything that's going on? You really don't. And that's when my life changed forever. Growing up without a mom was one of the hardest things that I had to encounter in life. That person that's, you know, that you could always go to and call, and you could trust and go to with advice, and someone that's going to love you unconditionally no matter what you had going on in your life. For me, that was gone. And it was a struggle. Every Mother's Day, not getting to spend it with your mother and not being able to really see your mom on her birthday, and holidays come up on Memorial Day. You're going to your mom's grave at 10 years old and 11 years old, and every year. That shit sucked. That shit sucked. Not getting to know her and having to look at a tombstone at a young age as a young boy to now, it still bothers me. And it's one of them things where I always question, do you fully heal from this situation? Do you really heal from this situation?
Wicked tones, you know what I'm saying?
Pieces.